SAR is a waste chain management company with its headquarters located near Stavanger, Norway. With offices strategically located along the Norwegian coast as well as internationally, it is Norway's largest provider of offshore and industrial-related waste management services.
We provide total solutions for the customer. So that means all kind of hazardous waste. That means all waste that are polluted with oil, we take care of, and all other kind of traditional waste that you will see also onshore, we do.
A major part of SAR's business scope is tank cleaning for the offshore and maritime industries.
And that is to clean the vessels coming in from offshore. And we are the largest operator of that kind in Norway.
In August 2012, one such tank cleaning procedure was ordered by BP for a ship until then stationed at the North Sea Valhall field. The ship in question was out of the ordinary, both due to size and work scope.
This was an exception from the normal operation. We had to order this tank ship to take care of the waste water we had. And after 1 year of operation with this tank ship, we had to clean the tank ship before we handed it back to the ship owner. And my role was to find someone who was capable of doing this.
BP turned to SAR for help.
They needed to clean the ship, and BP only had a window of approximately 14 days. For us, using the traditional way of doing it, as we do with the supply vessels in Norway, we would not be able to do it in 14 days. So, of course, the risk was to enter into challenges that we haven't seen before, to be able to finish up the job in time, so BP could take the ship to the dock for inspection.
This is how SAR pulled it off. The motor tanker Anneleen Knutsen was sailed in from the Valhall field and docked outside Stavanger, enabling SAR to start work on her immediately.
All this waste on the ship had been there for 1 year. So everything had settled out in the bottom of the tanks. And the content of this waste was very mixed. It was everything from glue to cement and stones and mud and oil. And we didn't know what was there, so it was a challenge.
The difference from this ship, Anneleen Knutsen, and the other types of ship we normally clean was the size. The size of the ship, size of the tanks, and also to a certain degree the type of waste that needed to be pumped up.
Atmospheric tests inside the tanks revealed high saturation of hydrogen sulfide, a highly flammable and hazardous substance. By injecting nitrogen into the tanks, the gas threat was neutralized. Utilizing ultrasound, SAR then identified 3 distinct layers inside the tanks in need of removal: oil on top, water in the middle, and solids at the bottom. The first task was to remove the liquids.
When you have a liquid of oil and water, the oil will always be on the top. So what we did was to pump from the top and then pump until we see that it goes from water to oil, and then we stop pumping and then we pump the oil into other tanks.
The oil and water removed from the tanks was transported to SAR's own waste handling facilities. There, the water was cleansed and the oil refined for later reuse. After all liquid was removed, a thick layer of contaminated mud remained.
We discovered that in some of the tanks, the solids, it was very heavy and it was not very pumpable. And also the amount of meter you had to lift it out of the tanks required different type of equipment that we usually use.
SAR quickly mobilized powerful vacuum trucks and pumps, as well as Anneleen Knutsen's own pumps, to lift out the pumpable remains. With all 3 layers of oil, water, and mud successfully removed, a high-pressure cleaning cannon was employed.
And what really is done is that these robots with the large flushing lenses are lowered into the tanks, and the operators from the outside can operate this tank flushing system by using joystick and flush the whole tank. So really the required manpower is just a fraction of what is normally needed. And then after that we sent in the manpower to do the final cleanup. This was the first time, as we know, a ship this size was cleaned using automatic or robot technology. And whenever we can reduce the amount of manpower in the tank, we will increase the safety level of doing the operation. And we didn't have any incidents or near incidents at all, so we were very happy with that. And the cooperation with BP also here showed to be a success. Our feedback we got is that we served them well, and they are satisfied with the job that we did.
We were very impressed by SAR, how they dealt with all the problems that came up, and everything was to the satisfaction of both BP and the ship owner.
We were very glad that we got the opportunity to do this, because we collected a lot of experience, and now we plan to develop a system that we can use the same method, using smaller equipment for the smaller ships. And it will give us and also the customers a great advantage.